called him out here. I was like, nope. All right. We on?
My bad.
All right. I say howdy.
I say, yo.
Welcome to the Big Book Bros. All right, everybody. Give me just 1 minute. Hold up.
All right,
Alexa off. See, I start off real bad. I didn't know. I didn't get my cue in. All right.
My
Anyway.
bad. I figured I wanted the flow to keep going
Hey,
because
that's all cool. That's all
it was
cool.
perfect. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But we just wasn't live.
All right, well, you already know how this goes. Welcome to the Big Book Bros. This is episode 4. I might be wrong, but it's 4. Is that correct, boss man?
I believe so.
All right, episode
put it in
4.
the thumbnail.
You know, this is March 29th. We only get the 29th every 4 years on leap year. And then if anybody who's watching on episodes of last week, you already know I'm doing a top, I will say top 5, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's my top 4 favorite Godzilla issues and series. Just trying to get everybody all sanctioned out. So I'm gonna do a little bit of the quick rules. If y'all seeing this for the first time live, or y'all just gonna watch these videos and just try to comment, I want to let you know. We talk about the Big Book Bros. We talk about anything nerd related, comic, video games, manga, anime, anything that just to keep it going and flowing. If y'all got any comments or questions, go ahead. Try to comment on the live stream. If not, you can still go to the regular comments. We'll try to get all the answers we can do. We'll try to answer all of them. This video and these episodes of the series, we will not be discussing anything dog related. If we do, it's because of something amazing happened or something related to the comics. So if you got any dog questions, anything dog related, go to the other videos or contact my man Country Rican at another time because he will put out his information on any of his other videos. So if y'all got anything dog related or just want questions, prices, see how things are, click on another video. This is not really what we're going to discuss. If we do talk about dogs, it's because something that spurred the moment or has something relevant to do with the comics. Cool. All right, so this week I left y'all a little hanging. Last week, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't feeling it as much. I was getting it, but I wasn't feeling it. So last week I was talking about a Godzilla comics, but I already told y'all I didn't want y'all feeling salty or even just unsatisfied because I told you about the Godzilla Oblivion series, and I already told and recommend that was cheap and easy Godzilla comic. Coming from me as a Godzilla fan and a lot of people, that's the Godzilla comics is not really there for people. However, in my personal take, which I will be starting to showing in a couple of minutes or seconds, I'm gonna talk about my favorite top 4 Godzilla series. I would say 5, however, give or take, the 5th of the list could be Godzilla Oblivion, or my number 1 list. I was going to talk about Godzilla in Hell. However, I could not find a good cover for it. I had the comic book, but it was nasty. So it is some of my stuff that I'll show you. I might have different issue numbers just because I want to show you a proper good look at the comic book series. But
What'd you spill on it, Michael? It's been
folded. It was all folded up because when I was moving, I had my Godzilla comics. I will show you real quick. So I'm just to show you my very first Godzilla comic. Like I bought this when I was like 11 or 12 to start my series. I still got
you gotta keep that. You can't ever throw that away.
Yeah,
that look good though. That's your first one.
First one that got me started comic book.
That's my favorite cover.
The Godzilla Legend series. That right there, I rank as my personal number 1. It's not bad. But then some of the other covers, I put them in shoe boxes to keep them in. Some of them don't have cover and folders, so sometimes you'll see them. However, if you look at it right here, it kind of bends in. It has a crease in it.
Yep.
I didn't want to do that. Some of them been folded, some of them just been just jacked up, scratched up, and I was like, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't trying to, we ain't gonna do nothing nasty like that. Show you talk about a good comic book series and everything looking all nasty. But that's okay. I'm gonna try to fix it and help y'all out. Give me just 1 moment.
Oh yeah, you can get that pressed.
Yeah,
that'll help take that out.
Yup. So that's all I'm gonna have to do too. Get everything all pressed and everything just moving and flowing. Alrighty, let me see if I pull up my little quick notes. All right. So I just showed you a little bit about that Godzilla Legends. I'm gonna start from number 1 to number 4/5, just because I can keep it going. So I will be talking about the Godzilla Legends. You just saw the cover. I'm gonna show it again real quick. Country Rican can show you. It's in one of the thumbnails. the Godzilla Legend series. This was created back in 2011, and all these Godzilla comics that I'm going to talk about, they've been published by IDW. I'm telling you, if y'all just a classic, 80s, 90s kid, this stuff that you love, a good cartoons and good series, IDW does it all. They've done from Transformers, Power Rangers, G.I. Joes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that good stuff. But Godzilla Legends, let me show it one more time. I like it because I still got it in this crease, but I got some other ones I like. One thing that I love about it, it is about Godzilla, but it's a 5-issue miniseries. All of the cover art ain't gonna show Godzilla, and I like that. That was something that was different. Cause when are you gonna start talking about Godzilla? But yeah, the Godzilla Legends was created in 2011. It was published by IDW. The story of the first issue was by Matt Frank. Now, the reason why I say the first issue was by one person is because one thing that you're going to notice, I'm going to pull up another one. This is Godzilla Legends issue 2. If you take a look at it right here, that shows Rodan. That's issue 2. And then I'm going to show you issue 3 again. I'm going to show you issue 3. That's Titanosaurus. That's an OG monster back in the 70s.
He's dope. I ain't never seen him before.
Yeah, and then hold on, I got another one. This one's a classic back in the 70s as well. Hedorah, the sludge monster, the sludge toxic monster.
He reminds me of Man Thing.
Yeah, and then the last one, issue number 5, the giant jungle spider Kumagora.
That's dope too.
So the reason why I said issue 1 is by Matt Frank, and I didn't say he covered the whole story. Each issue and each variant, whatever you want to call it, the title, you got different art and different stories. So there's a different writer for every issue of the comic, and there's a different artist in every issue. So that right there blew my mind of how you can really broaden your horizon with comics. Because that's what I said, when you see a lot of comic book issues or stories or series, certain authors and writers, authors, writers, and artists, they may only cover a certain amount of issues. And I wasn't used to that. I was still like figuring out, okay, well, if I read Spider-Man, issue 213, why does it look different or something way different than issue 300 something? Because a different writer can take over, a different artist can take over. You really got to do your research and just figure out, okay, what's going to take what. So I'm going to take this out because I ain't going to lie, this is fresh. So one thing about it, it's going to have your classic story. However, they put a little twist to it. Instead of your classic Godzilla's coming out, of Japan and stuff like that, they start you off with some of his biggest his enemies. So, like, look, this is the first issue. Hold on, I'm gonna show you him right quick. That right there is Destroyer. They got this freaking devil coming into the city destroying stuff. And so with the Godzilla Legends, the main story of the first 5 is literally this time about all the monsters are going across the world attacking and trying to kill, destroy, and other monsters. But I really love the art. And every issue, it tackles a different family or the military at their perspective and what they're trying to do to stop it. So I was like, what? I said, okay. I said, it really broadens my horizon to figure out how to do everything. So, my bad. That right there, I love it. Here, let me throw another one. So, like, this is a different art of this is issue 2. This one looks not bad. It ain't a dark color as the first one, but it's still good. Like, art, I will say art wise, man, I give it an 8 out of 10. The only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10, like I said, depending on how you are and how you like your art style, it changes every issue, and it's only 5, so you're gonna have a different art. Every issue you get in your comic.
There we go. I figured it out, Michael.
What's up?
Whenever you want to show, the art, just let me know.
All right, I'm gonna show another one right here. This is issue 3. This is Titanosaurus attacking.
Oh yeah, is that the dude with the multiple heads?
Nah,
never mind. I see him.
Nah, that's Titanosaurus. That's just the cover monster. So that's what I said. Yeah, Godzilla in it. He really is. But a lot of people, when they see, when you're a regular kid and you're in a comic book store, you want to see the first thing that pops out. So I was like, well, where's Godzilla? It's just 5 issues. He's in the story. But they're covering the other monsters and other people. So that right there, I ain't gonna lie, I liked it. But then this is issue 4. You got my boy Mecha Godzilla. He rising from the ocean, and then I like it where they showed Godzilla. He rising from the ocean too, and he just mad as all get out, looking all nasty.
I see him. Ooh.
Yeah, and then let me get the last one, the 5th issue. Now the 5th issue, I'm not gonna lie, it don't hold up to the first 4 just because the art, like I said, a different artist and a different writer every issue. It kind of went dull on the last one. I was like, I said I wasn't feeling this one. Like this right here, I ain't gonna lie, they covered the whole first page, but I was like, nah. I said I wasn't rocking with it. It was pale colors, I ain't gonna lie, but they did not bet. They did pretty good, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Because I mean, there's certain art like Godzilla Oblivion. I ain't gonna lie, it's easy. Godzilla Oblivion. If you look at our last episode of it, it was just looking like a Saturday morning cartoon because there's stuff in there that I wasn't feeling it. You can zoom out real quick. I was just showing them the quick art. Oh,
I'm glad to get it out.
Man, I'm laughing. I got the cats messing with me right now. I can't be doing that. Oh man. But hold on, let me see if I can slide them all out. Yeah, but the Godzilla Legends, like I said, this came out in 2011. When I bought it, each book was about $3. Probably right now you can get a paperback for about $30 or probably 25. I ain't gonna lie. I heard they was trying to reissue them again back in 2019. So you can probably get a good paperback for about $20-$30. Or you can get like the single issue like I had, about $3 each. For me, like I said, it's I call it one of my number ones because I can never had a only one. Just because the story really went everywhere. It's first it just throws you into the action. The first issue, showing the different monsters, people attacking. What is going on. People trying to figure out. Then within the second issue, it shows the different monsters. Godzilla in it, trying to figure out what Godzilla's going to do. And then it shows a perspective of a family man, what he got to do to save his family. And it's something quick, like something that was quick that it kept changing drastically, but something that still could keep you interested. Wasn't all over the place. And like I said, different artists and different writers really put in their time, try to make everything connected, even though everything looked different. So that's my number one right there, personally. So my second one, Godzilla Half Century War. I love it. I'm gonna get a little biased only because my man who did the art and the story, James Stocco. I probably butchered his name. His last name is Stokoe, so I'm gonna call it James Stocco or Stokey. James Stocco does freaking phenomenal art. I love all his stuff that he draws. I mean, he can't go wrong with his art, especially when it comes to monsters and Godzilla. He done the Godzilla and Hell story, which just blew my mind of how they did it. You can zoom in. I'm gonna show him the cover of it. I only brought one issue of it. This is the cover of it, the Godzilla Half Century War. And this one, the reason why I put it number 2, they had a good. Oh man, hold on, I gotta show you this. And this is all written and drawn by the same guy. He did crazy good on that art and the details.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie on that one. So
dope. That's real dope.
The James Stocco, the Godzilla Half Century War. Oh man, this one came out back in 2013, and the story takes place in 1954 in Japan. So 1954 was when Godzilla was first, issued. This is where it was first created, the movie, everything. However, it started in 1954, but it takes place where a Japanese admiral, he saw Godzilla emerging. He saw him out of the monster, the nuclear site. But then it was like everything went blank. And when I mean everything went blank, it was during the nuclear war, with the atom bombs going off. So it was like everything was going too bad. And so when it called Half Century Wars, 50 years later, around 2001 or 2002, Godzilla emerges again. So now it's like the story of the old man in the sea. The old man, he sees this giant whale, this giant beast that he's seen before, and he's doing all that he can do to capture and fight it. And it's good. So, like I said, first it takes place back in 1954, but then it puts everything on hold, and then it resumes to like 2001, 2002, little sort of modern time, but it's talking about the end of the world because people are like, stuff been going wrong. They're like, what happened the last 50 years, the half century, or what happened, this Armageddon, and then they think it's the apocalypse because all these monsters are coming out. But this dude, he was going crazy because even the admiral, he's the one that was building, he was building machines, doing all this craziness, and then he was the one that built the Mecha Godzilla. So this story is a little bit different. Usually it's the government that made Mecha Godzilla, but this one he did it. And then they fighting monsters. So I like this one, Mecha Godzilla and Godzilla. They together. They're trying to kill Gigan up top, and I just like the
Is that
I like
a machine?
Yeah. Gigan is he's an alien cyborg monster. So Gigan don't come from Earth. He come from space. Same thing like King Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon, that came from space. Same thing as Gigan and a couple other monsters. Like here's one right here. They got sucked into a black hole. I mean, it was this craziness that led to all this fighting. You got Gigan,
wow.
King Ghidorah, you got Godzilla right there. And I mean, I love the art. That one go hard. I ain't gonna lie. But you can zoom in on this one. But yeah, the Godzilla Half Century War. Whoo, yeah, I like that one, and it's quick and easy. So the issues, it's only 5 issues. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single issues, or you can get like a small paperback. Just because this is probably gonna run you because it's James Stoke. I call him Stokey. These might run you a little bit more than some Godzilla comics just because of the author and the writer. Originally, this is about $4. I've seen a couple people selling these from $5 to $7, so that's a little bit more. Ain't too much, but like I said, if you get a paperback, you can get something a little decent. I'm gonna show you a cover one more time of it.
Hold on, let me get the screen bigger.
Yeah, you good? Tell me I'm good. Yeah, the Godzilla Half Century. That's my number 2 pick. If you want something that's really action packed and that just gets crazy and has a pretty decent story, I say Godzilla Half Century War. I still like Godzilla Legends a little bit more just because it goes everywhere with the story and then it doesn't center around Godzilla. Godzilla Half Century is going to be about Godzilla and then the Japanese soldier. He's like, I'm always trying to get Godzilla, and then it just goes crazy into that one. So I like it. My bad.
No, you good. That's how I was earlier today. I've been so busy, man, ripping and running.
I know.
That I was bet. My Raven was like, "You gonna eat after you get done?" I was like, "Nope," because after I get done, it was gonna be probably 10 o'clock. So I was like, "I'm hungry now." So
I know. I literally ate about 30 minutes ago when I saw you live. I was eating, finishing up because I was trying to do all I need to do to type. I've been everywhere. All right, my 3rd pick, my middle one. It is a Godzilla comic. However, it goes by different names. Some people call it Man of Monster, Fear of Terror. There's a lot of different names for it, but I call it the Godzilla 2012 version because that's just how it was. Yeah, this is Godzilla 2012, and the author, trust me, I'm so sorry, I don't want to butcher these names. Duane Sareski. I'm gonna pull up a cover. You can go ahead and zoom in on this one. Okay. This one's about a 12 issues, depending. They have been some issue with these with this comic. Now I'm gonna pull it up just so I can show you. I like that art. Space Godzilla and Godzilla.
That's like some old school movie art.
Yup, like the movie posters. But that's Godzilla. This is a 2012 version by Duane Sareski. I probably butchered the name. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's about 12 issues. The reason why I say about, there has been copyright claims and printing issues. So they might have smaller. So meaning they might pack more chapters and pages into one issue than another. So you might have 10 issues. You might have 13. It kind of varies, and especially back in the day, this was around 2013. This is 2013. Around 2013, they were doing all that they can to start, getting the public to watch more Godzilla. Because back in 2014, the Godzilla 2014 version came out by Legendary Pictures in America. So I know a lot of stuff that I was doing for making comics with Godzilla, they were just kind of put on hold, and then or it was being rushed. So it was crazy. The reason now I showed you the art, the cover art. The cover art, like I said, it could be misleading. However, you can zoom in real quick, man. The actual page art, I wasn't feeling the actual page art. So like, here's one of the monsters guy again, and then here's some of the dude's face. The artwork is not as detailed as it would be in Half Century War, and even in a couple of the first issues of Godzilla Legends can do better. And then like this right here, they did Space Godzilla dirty. They did one of my favorite monsters dirty. I didn't like this art. I couldn't like it. He was destroying London. I didn't like the art, especially since they covered it.
Is that him with the red belly?
Yeah, that's Space Godzilla.
Oh, Space Godzilla.
But I didn't like the art, and it looked too bulky. It looked too it didn't look too good to me. And then especially, I'll show another one how Godzilla. They did pretty good with the classic Godzilla look, but like I said, they always put stuff where I really can't see what Godzilla is looking like. They're doing a lot of covers, and as I said too, when they start doing talking about the humans and what they're doing with, and then another thing that put this in my top, this is like top 3, or this is like my middle tier list. The story. Yeah, the story is something. The story, it ain't. I'm gonna put it as simple as I can. So the story revolves around. You can zoom out. The story revolves around a boxer and a billionaire. How they met, you'll see how. But this billionaire, he's a rich hunter. He hunts game. So this dude, the billionaire, his greatest thing he wants to hunt is Godzilla, and I really couldn't go with the story, but it's a Godzilla comic. Instead of the basic monsters coming from outer space or monsters coming from Earth, they was gonna put it where Godzilla's been here. People know who Godzilla is, but the billionaire, he wants to he forms a team to go capture and hunt Godzilla like the greatest prey, and I couldn't feel for it. I was like, Godzilla ain't your typical. He ain't a typical animal, and he ain't supposed to be an animal. He's a monster. He's supposed to be the top of the list, the apex, So story wise, nah. Story, that's what I said. The art's not bad. The only thing I didn't like was they didn't really show Godzilla good enough. I felt like when they showed a couple of issues or pages with Godzilla, he was always being covered, like he was in water or submerged or like a lot of smokes. I didn't really get to see the full details of him. And then, like I said too, the story of how a group of hunters got to capture Godzilla, or they're gonna take him out or kill him. Like that's because that's the greatest sport or game. I was like, nah, I couldn't be feeling it. But it was entertaining because it is a couple of issues. So there are different monsters. Like I said, they're destroying the city, so they gotta wait, or they gotta see how Godzilla got to take out the monsters. They're gonna use that against Godzilla. So I'll do with that one. So, my fourth list is the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters. This was back in 2011. This has about 12 issues, if I'm not mistaken. Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters. I'll show you 2 of the cover arts. I like it. They have different artists and authors, so I really can't tell you a distinct one that I like. Art-wise, yeah, even you can zoom in. I'll show them real quick. Art-wise, for this one, my fourth list, Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, I can show you the cover. This right here, it looks pretty interesting. Only thing that catches me off guard is how Godzilla, that's not how his mouth is supposed to look. But you can't be perfect.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a horse mouth.
Yeah, but then when they're showing some of the characters, like the human characters, I couldn't feel it. I wasn't feeling it.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. and then I'll show you a monster fight: Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah looks pretty good, but they did Godzilla dirty. So that's Godzilla.
Oh my goodness. Really?
Yeah, here I'll hold still. So King Ghidorah looks not bad. He looks more like a dragon. I
Yeah,
feel
he
it, but
do.
the Godzilla, yeah, no. I was salty. I wasn't not. It's not bad. I don't even know if I have the full. I don't even know if I got the full 12 issues. I'm not even gonna lie. I found one through four. Then I found 8 and 9. So I don't know what happened to 5, 6, and I don't even know if I got 10 through 12. And I probably didn't get the rest of it because I think this kind of threw me off. Uh, just cause the story with this one here, I'll pull up another page just to show you. Like the cover, not bad. Like that's what I'm saying. Cover sells. If you see people do different variants of issues, I mean, the cover sells. Cover
Mike,
sells.
tell me why I thought that was a picture of Godzilla flicking us off.
Nah, yeah, that's a submarine.
I know. I seen it once. The camera got know.
But that's probably what they was doing when he was making the story. So this story, yeah, hold up, let me show it. Like they did Mecha Godzilla. I don't know how I feel, and this was just weird. Mecha Godzilla saving the city, and then they got the little girl giving flowers to Mecha Godzilla. I said, what?
What?
Yeah, because Mecha Godzilla's all beat up, so the girl's giving flowers to make sure it's okay and help. All right. You wanna? Hey, hold up. I forgot. This is why I bought it too. This was one of the first Godzilla issues that showed Barack Obama. You want to see what?
Yeah, I want to see that.
Hold up, because I forgot. This is why this one's a little. That's Barack.
Oh man, yeah, it favors him a little bit.
A little bit.
But are you sure it says it in there that
yeah,
is?
This is Mr. Yeah, he says Mr. President, and they're talking to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's that. And this is back
a little bit.
Yeah, this is back under 2012. And then if you can see it, I'll zoom in. I almost try to see if you can zoom it in. That yellow page is under Washington D.C. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah, but that's Barack Obama and one of his assistants talking to him, talking about Godzilla running rampant, the city and America's in danger, and I wasn't feeling it. It's good. I wasn't feeling it's not the worst, but like some of the styles, like Anguirus, like this right here is Anguirus. This is how you do a proper monster, right?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
All right, this is him fighting Mecha Godzilla in the Godzilla Kingdom of Monster stories. I wasn't feeling this one as much.
Yeah,
I wasn't feeling it, but. You can zoom out. The story for this one, the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, it literally does the basic story, which is Godzilla, submerges in Japan. However, the only thing that made a difference, instead of Godzilla, coming out in 1954 in Japan and stuff with the bombs, Godzilla came out in 2012 in modern Japan. That's like the whole big difference. So then you have these soldiers, different military men, family people trying to figure out what's going on. The whole world's trying to figure out what's up with these monsters, and they're trying to do what they can do to stop Godzilla and these monsters running rampant. So it's a basic cut and line story. Excuse me, I was wrong. I said 2012. Really, it was 2011. He was in Modern Times, which was when the comic came out, 2011. But that one right there, like I said, yeah, I don't even remember. That's what I said. I don't even remember if I got the full issue of that one. That was the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters. And then the last on my list, I talked about it at last week's episode. If y'all didn't see it, I'll talk about it again. You can zoom in real quick. This is the Godzilla Oblivion series. I believe I said it was a 5 issues series last week. If it wasn't 5, it's probably 10. I think it was 5. Like I said, cover art, whoever you are, young, old, new to comics or a veteran, the cover art is really going to grab your attention. So I was like, this is going to be something. When I read the story, not bad, but like I said, the way they was drawing like I said, the last one, the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, they made Mechagodzilla bulky. This one right here, yeah, like I said, this is a Sunday morning cartoon. I was like, nah, man. I was like, nah. They did the even with the humans, it was not bad, but they was the basic. My bad. That's Rodan. They made it basic. You know, they wasn't really detailed. I didn't feel like they weren't detailed enough when it came to some of the characters, and especially the monsters. I don't know what they were doing with King Ghidorah. How you got him coming out of the portal, and then the story with that one, it's not too different. It's really not that original. It's about a mad scientist. Well, excuse me, he's a regular scientist, but they open up a portal, and monsters start coming out. The different portals and different space, and it's not bad. So they got to use Godzilla's help to destroy the monster and then try to kill the monsters. So we almost 31 minutes in. I talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I told you I was going to talk about the top 4 because I already talked about Oblivion, but like my top 5 for Godzilla and Godzilla comics, highly recommend Godzilla Legends for number 1 because, like I said, it's 5 issues, quick and easy, different art, and the different art isn't really as bad. But the story is still engaging. It's gonna, it grabs my point of view, and that's what I said. They made it with the Godzilla Legends. They made it where it has a classic take to it, but it also is like, okay, this is something different that you're gonna see from a different perspective, and then you're just gonna see how everybody else acts. And like I said, Godzilla ain't in the cover. Like when I was buying the when I bought my first comic, I was like, oh, that's in Gears. But I was like, well, where's Godzilla? I was like, oh, he's in the store. So are these other monsters. Just because it shows one monster doesn't mean there's going to be one monster in the store. So that's something that grabbed me. My second, like I said, my bad. Let me show y'all off. Number 1, like I said, the Godzilla Legends. One of my first comics I ever collected that still got racked up. Something that really can grab you, get you interested in. Number 2, for sure, for action pack, Godzilla, just fighting, fun, killing, just ready to go. This is what Godzilla do. He's just nasty. Godzilla Half Century War. That right there, that hands down, that's something. Yeah, you got to get because it's a good story, good representation of a classic book like The Old Man and the Sea. Because you're gonna see his rival, one of humanity. Like I said, there's the 2011. I said 2011. I want to make sure I don't want to correct myself on this one. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the 2012 version. Godzilla. This one, like I said, is going to do a modern. This is what the modern. Excuse me, not the modern Japan. This is a Godzilla where they're doing a game of cat and mouse and a hunt. By Duane Soderski. Not bad. Like I said, you might have a little bit more trouble finding the different issues with that one due to they're having some legal issues. So I don't know what all happened. But I remember there was an issue back in 2019. So I really do recommend that one. I really recommend all of these Godzilla comics. I ain't gonna lie. Even if I didn't like them, I still read through them because it's Godzilla. Ain't go nothing wrong with that one. This one right here, the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, not bad. A pretty good, decent 9 to 12 issues. Like I said, artwork not as good. I don't want to give y'all a crappy artwork book with art. Some people might like it like that, a little too blocky or just not really as detailed. Some people like it simple. I ain't gonna lie, but that one revolves around Godzilla in modern times. So instead of Godzilla opening, and coming in 1954, it's in the modern 2000 area, modern time. And then the last on my list is the Godzilla Oblivion. So like I said, good art, good cover art. Art inside, nah. And then like I said, the story revolving the scientists and then the government opening portals and stopping space portals and all the crazy nonsense with Godzilla, space, and aliens. Pretty good, pretty straightforward. But that issue, nah. What I recommend, like I said, quick couple bucks. You need to get yourself some Godzilla Legends. You can't go wrong with Godzilla Legends. and they got different varying arts and covers. So that right there is really going to get people attention. I like it that it shows them every monster in the Godzilla legend shows them rampaging and destroying the city. So I was like, shoot, shit, that's gonna be something good I like, and you can't beat it. So that's my quick list. Do not. Oh, my bad. I just see somebody. Chaos Gun Eighth Gate. Do the new Godzilla comics change the story from the old ones? The only ones from the Godzilla Legends, it has original story. The Godzilla Half Century War, it does with the basic old story. So like the old, Godzilla back in the 1954s. But the only thing that would put it a difference, like I said, it was like a cold time freeze, meaning like they show Godzilla 1954 in Japan, but then it went to modern time, and it was like a huge build up and a wait, aka the Half Century War, because it was like the early 2000s and Armageddon was happening. So that's a little bit different from the original story that you would see of Godzilla, emerging or attacking the city or defending the city. The Godzilla 2012 reboot, that one was a different story. Did I mess up on y'all? Hold up. I think no. Yeah, the Godzilla 2012, it's not even a reboot, it's just a 2012 version. Like I said, it's a game of cat and mouse. They're trying to hunt down Godzilla and other monsters. I wasn't feeling it. So that's some original. Back in most Godzilla movies, from Godzilla 1954, Godzilla has three different eras. So there's the Showa era was like the 1950s to the early 70s, I believe. Probably mid 70s. Then there's the Heisei era. That was from the 70s to the late 1999, 1990s, and then the Millennium series, which was like from the early 2000s through. It's still going on technically, but Toho hasn't done a lot of them. But with the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, I would say that will center around. Really, all of these comics are original story. I say, it's different, but they have the basic aspect. It's either when you read or watch a Godzilla comic, or watch the TV shows or movies, it's either going to start with Godzilla's the enemy, and he's coming to destroy the city, and the government, the people are trying to have a new weapon to destroy him, or there's a new monster coming to destroy the city, and Godzilla has to intervene and help him, help the people and himself, or there's going to be an outside force, aliens, this and that, that does revolve around a new monster. But again, Godzilla comes to save the day. But as I said, with Godzilla from the past 60 years, he's a complex character because Godzilla don't have sides. He isn't I'm a good guy here, I'm a bad guy here. He's just a force of nature. That's all he is, and that's why he's so popular. He represented back in the 50s, the dangers and effect of for one, of nuclear warfare and radiation, and then destroying the environment. I mean, look at it today. We talking about global warming. Animals going to extinct, and this everything going out of whack. But Godzilla represented that raw nature of it. What's going to happen? So, like I said, you can read some of them and you'd be like, oh, well, it reminds me of that movie. Well, some of the monsters that you're going to see are going to be from that, from that movie or that timeline. But some of the stories, like I've been talking about, they ain't that much different. But like I said, they are also original. So I was kind of dodging the question, but it's still 50-50. It's going to be original, kind of like from the old movies or the old comics, but then it's some a little bit of a twist. But something that you really ain't going to see different, nothing that's going to blow your mind. Godzilla Oblivion, it looks like it's a classic, like I said, a Saturday morning take. The science, a scientist and the government was messing around, opening portals and stuff, and monsters started coming out, and Godzilla had to intervene. I was like, okay, but the Godzilla Legends, like I said, with these five, Yeah, they all got different stories, and they do revolve around different people and their aspect, but it's more centered. Something that I can get into. You'd be like, okay, well, let me see from this person perspective of how they do stuff, and then oh, this is how they can do it to fight the monsters. This is why they're acting this way because Godzilla's here or a different monster, or why is it like this? Something quick. One that, like I keep saying to that's really good. James Stoke, he's just a phenomenal artist and writer. I really do recommend the Half Century War because, like I said, it does talk about when you first see Godzilla in 1954, but then they pause it and then they go to a modern time and be like, all right, this is the modern day. People's like it's the end of the world apocalypse, but then Godzilla comes out. This is where stuff's getting crazy. This is where people are starting doing other stuff, and the main character, like I said, he was a Japanese soldier, so when he saw Godzilla, he was like, "What in the world is that?" And he got fixated on it, and he started going crazy. He was like, I'm gonna hunt Godzilla." Dude had a grudge for over 50 years to hunt Godzilla, so I'm like, that's crazy. But another comic book that I really recommend that's from the Godzilla series, and it's by James Stote, Godzilla in Hell. That's an original story that they never talked about in any of the movies or comics or TV shows prior to its release, and it's something that kind of gets into your psyche about what Godzilla will face or what he's been through. Because like I said, he's just a force of nature. So they're like, well, why is he going to hell? What he got to do to get out of hell? And it's pretty good. I ain't gonna spoil it, but he goes through like rotten corpses, and then he fighting his old enemies, and it's just craziness. And you in hell, you can't really get out, but Godzilla made a way out, and it's crazy good how he did it. But that's all. That's all on my top list. Um, if I only had to recommend, like I said, Godzilla Legends, that's something I really recommend just to really broaden your mind or just see how different ways they will add. Some that's quick action packed. Godzilla Half Century War and Godzilla in Hell. That's another one that I really recommend on that one. All right, boss.
Yes, sir.
What
Man.
what you got today?
I got a couple things. I didn't get to finish the last volume of Lock and Key. I was
Yeah,
literally on the last issue just now. But I
yeah.
mean, I pretty much can tell the main bad guy was just defeated. I'm literally only 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pages from the ending, but or not even 9. But anyways, but so yeah, I ended up reading a couple things. I ended up reading Spencer and Locke, volumes 1 and 2. I almost finished 2. I didn't, and then I read another issue, another trade paperback called We 3, and then I read Murder Falcon. So I read those 4 things, and out of those 4, Murder Falcon is definitely the best out of the 4. And then We 3 was very interesting, and then Spencer and Locke. It was cool too, but I'm gonna talk about Murder Falcon first. I ended up letting my brother hold it so he could read it. The concept pretty much is there's spiritual creatures coming through our dimension attacking Earth, and this guy, he's a musician, and he fights by playing his guitar, and it's really deep. It's different. I gave it to my brother because he loves music, and it was so good I couldn't put it down. A lot of people that in the comic community were like rating it the number one thing to come out in 2019, and I haven't read a lot of stuff that came out in 2019, but
Yeah.
definitely out of the things that I have read, um, definitely this year that I've read, because I'm late on it, it was way better than Savage Shores, and that was really good. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the concept, and like there are other spiritual beings that come through the dimension as well that are good, and like they get power. It's called the power of the heavy, and pretty much when
Like heavy metal.
yeah. So pretty much when the hero plays the instrument, it's not his instrument. It's like a heavy instrument. So like they have to find it and stuff like that, and and so it's deeper than just that. You get to realize why he doesn't love playing music anymore, and kind of he's at at the brink of defeat, like he just gave up, and then all of a sudden he gets this responsibility, and he kind of like mans up to his circumstances and his situation, and like just the twists and turns that happen in this book kind of are unique, different, and they catch you off guard. Because that's a problem with a lot of comic books. It's like when you or movies even. When you're watching them or you're reading them, and if it's like the story is common, it does not stand out. It's kind of like, man, well, especially there's a difference. When you were young and you would watch movies would just blow your mind. But after you get older and you're like, man, this movie right here is just a waste of time, really. But then you see another movie like Lord of the Rings or Avatar, and you're like, wow, these movies are amazing. So that's definitely how it was. And like, just I like, obviously, a story that builds the character or the characters, in the book, and kind of, make them more relatable to us as people. And I've seen a lot of myself in the main character and some of the side characters. And it's a different tale. It's it really hit me in the feels, for real, to be honest with you. Just I don't want to spoil it, because it was an amazing book, man. Like, I was like, whoa, I definitely want my kids to read this one day. It was rated friendly. It didn't have no nudity. It didn't have no curse words. It had a great story. Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot to tell about the rating. Yeah, so those 5 issues Godzilla that I talked about, those are rated friendly. It's nothing too graphic. It's monster man, it's monster fighting. So I forgot. Yeah, for anybody that's watching it, they might want to get it. If you want to read it yourself or give it to your kids, all of those Godzillas. Excuse me. Besides Godzilla in Hell, that's one's gonna be a little bit more mature. That's gonna be on the teen/mature side. So a good thing I didn't show, because there are some stuff there that's kind of gory. But all the other Godzilla comics that I was talking about in the stream, they're ready. They're rated. Excuse me, kid friendly. Those are you can have young kids watching, reading it. So they're gonna be like, it's monster fighting, and that's said the story's simple. Besides Godzilla in Hell, yeah, that's not no kid friendly one. All right, go ahead.
Does Godzilla in Hell like have blood and guts and stuff like that, or like why is it rated not for kids?
Just because of the graphics, yeah, it really does get violent. There isn't a lot of dialogue because it's just monsters. They're not really speaking. Besides, there's gonna show demons, but
oh really?
Yeah, but
so like, you got Godzilla fighting demons.
Yeah, and like the demons, they're supposed to represent like monsters and like humans, so like random civilians. This is some craziness, but like really, he's gonna be fighting his old enemies. They look like zombies or demonized versions. But that's something, that's kind of like, that might not be for little kids, because first of all, they be reading it, they like, well, why he in hell? I'll be like, well, you know what I'm saying? You want to explain that to your kid, they'll be like, yeah, nah. Some of these other ones, you can be like, these are just monsters because they just showed up, or like I said, science. They pop from a portal and other stuff. So. But the Godzilla in Hell, I recommend probably for young tweens, young teenagers through young adults. But the other Godzilla series, kids, any age. All right, go back to you. You love Murder Falcon. Excuse me. What's another one you was talking about?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you good?
But yeah, Murder Falcon was definitely dope. I only got like literally 2 more pages left on Spencer and Locke, and volume 2. I'm like right at the end, like everything's coming together. But yeah, so Murder Falcon was definitely dope, man. And see what I told my brother Michael when I read it, like I don't know, I got the idea like let me put on some metal. So like I just put in rock and roll and a group called Heavy Purple, I believe. You ever heard of them? Heavy Purple?
Deep Purple?
Yes, Deep Purple.
Yeah, Deep Purple, yeah.
So they popped up in one of their tours to Japan, and I don't know. It looked like maybe it was the 1970s. I'm not sure, but dude, it was like a 12-minute live concert song.
Yeah.
So like every time it would finish, I would just hit repeat, and I read that whole book in one sitting. And listening to metal in the background, and it was dope, dude. I was over here reading, and I was like, going on, headbanging and everything. Yeah, because like shows it, when he's in there and he's all into it, and when he starts fighting different monsters, and all, he's having to put his heart and soul into the music to give energy, to the
power up and fight
the creature that he's given the power of heavy to, because like each character in here, they're linked to like a spiritual type being, and like when they're playing their music, that's how they strengthen their
power,
their spiritual being. Yeah, the power of the spiritual being. So it's called Murder Falcon because the main character's spiritual being is a falcon, and he's got this huge metal arm. It kind of looks anime-ish. He's got this huge metal arm, and that's what the power goes into the arm, and like he's just bashing Hulk style, the enemy down, and like, the enemy, the enemy is, he's hatred fuels him, fear fuels him. So like he's getting all the hatred and the fuel from the world to help destroy the world. And it's pretty dope because you start to learn about previous times that this particular evil creature has been trying to enter the earth. So you start learning more history about the past and like what other people have went through. And it's pretty dope because, it's only 5 issues. So it sums it up, really quick. It gets to the point, you're not getting a whole lot of filler. So, that's what I like about a lot of these independent comics. Because a lot of times these superhero comics, they'll just be full of filler. Like, dude, where are we going with this? Too much.
They'll jump into another issue and another storyline to wait till you get to that big event. I'll be like, come on, man.
Too much events jacking stuff up. So that's really why I've had a lot of these. What do they call them, Michael? They don't call them image. They call them independent. No, what do they call them? Indie comics, because a lot of them are one and done, so like Murder Falcon is done. They could come up with something else possibly, but like the story ended perfectly. Savage Shore, like I said, the ending is like, nope, there's about to be more, and it makes sense. Oh no, I thought it said volume 1 on it, but it doesn't. But definitely I'm interested. I'm like, yeah, I need more because of how it ended. We 3 is possibly done. Spencer and Locke, I'll get onto that. But anyways, okay, so we'll talk about I can't show you no art. But I was gonna say it kind of looks, they kind of have creatures in there that are like they're just big monsters. So, but definitely it's definitely I would say definitely a kid's book. Definitely, if they could start reading at 8 or 9, I would definitely, like I said, it has good points and good things, good stories in there that are very influential and will help you with life, because the dude was very depressed and just gave up on life. And then all of a sudden, Murder Falcon came to him and said, you got it. You're the one that I chose. Let's do this.
Yeah. Hold up.
Now you're good. So then the art in it wasn't great. It was probably, I would say, a 6 out of 10. But the story, I would say a 9. It was very good, very good. Week 3 is this one right here. I'm about to make it bigger, Michael.
Now you good.
So just talk if you want to say something. So week 3, it's about a dog, a cat, and a rabbit, and are inside of a machine. Machines kind of like
mechas.
Yep, kind of like mech suits. And this right here is definitely not kid friendly. It has it has blood in it. I think it does have a little bit of cursing. I can't remember, but it might have. But it definitely has blood. And pretty much, there's this dog, cat, and rabbit. They want to go home, and the government went ahead and like connected them to a bunch of, you know, electronical parts where the dog can talk little sentences, and so can the rabbit. The cat can't talk as much, but the dog is like a tank. Like he's real strong. He's the leader of the group. Then you got the cat. The cat is like a ninja, stealthy,
Yeah.
killer. And then you got the rabbit. The rabbit is real agile and real fast. And pretty much the government, you know, uses them to do undercover illegal stuff. You know, to murder, you know, enemies of the state. And you know, but not all of the government know what they're doing, so they're kind of, you know, keeping it on the low.
Yeah, kind of secret. Yeah, top secret.
So you know, pretty much, you know, all this stuff is like in the first, you know, I would say the first 3 pages, and then you find out that the government, in order to keep it secret, decided to kill them and just kind of do away with them, and they escape. So it kind of reminded me of that kids movie where the 2 dogs and the cat, and it's like homeward bound or something like that, where, you know, they're lost and they're trying to get home. And so it kind of reminded me of that, because on their journey they're trying to, you know, go home. And you know, so the government's coming against them. They end up sicking some other robots, creatures, to go kill them. So it's their journey, you know, as they're trying to, they don't want to die. They want to survive, live in peace. So, you know, some of them, I'm not going to say who, but some of them sacrificed their lives and to save the group, because they're like a family. And as you're reading it, you realize that they ended up stealing these animals from, you know, backyards. And
so those are just random animals.
They're not. They're random animals, but they're not random to the people who own them. You know what I mean? Like, they were owned. They weren't like on the street.
So they're probably gonna come across one of their owners or stuff. Hold up.
You good? I'm trying to think.
No, I said, did they come across like
spoil it?
Okay, yeah, don't spoil it. Okay.
But yeah, so you know, they it was really good. It was intense because it was action packed. Like I told you, what I told you in the beginning was literally in the first 2 or 3 pages of the comic book. It summed it up really quick to get to the point. The point is the journey of them trying to get home and survive. You know, so it was pretty dope. You know, the ending was dope, a good ending. You know, because a lot of times you have these endings and you're like, what the heck, like, I didn't see that coming, and it's a horrible ending. But this one was good. It was sad, but I liked it a lot. You know, I heard people talk about it before as well. And then the last one. Oh wait, let me show some art.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to look at the art. The art was good. I give it an easy 6. You know, I'm trying to find a page where I can show you all of them. This one's dope. I'm gonna make it bigger.
Go ahead. I'm trying to get this cat out my way. I got 2 cats, man.
Let me see. Oh, that right there is when the helicopter was trying to get them, and it just starts shooting everything up just to try to kill them, to keep them quiet. There's the little rabbit at the top right up here, and you got the cat. The cat is like a ninja. It's super stealthy, crazy killer. All the people, when they're hunting it, they're like, "Watch out for the cat! Watch out for the cat!" You know. So there's no nudity or anything in it. It's just, you know,
blood, graphic, yeah.
So here's another one that's dope in the art. I'm going the right way, yeah. This one's dope. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. And then the last one, which is Spencer and Locke. You know, it's a detective story about a guy. I was gonna say kid. It gives you a lot of flashbacks. It gives you a lot of flashbacks back and forth, so you can kind of get to know the character. And pretty much he's a detective. You start to learn from the beginning he was abused as a child. This one definitely it doesn't have nudity in it, but it does have sexual innuendos. Is that how you say it?
Innuendos, hints, yeah.
Yeah. So a kid might read it and not understand it, but as an adult, you're like, oh shoot, So it just shows, him as a kid, just going through what he's going through, and he was raped. That caught me off guard. He was raped at a young age. And he has a relationship with his childhood stuffed animal. So that is Spencer, and he's a 7 foot. In his head, he's a 7 foot panther. And it's neat how they fuse it together, because he really is like his imaginary friend. There's parts where you're like, is he real or is he fake? Because when I was first reading it, I was like, is he real? Because the way they tie it in and stuff, it's really neat. And I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a detective story. So in the first one, you really get to know about his past and find out, it all comes together. Obviously, that's a good story too. When you throw something in the beginning, you throw some more in the middle, and then in the end, it comes together. So it does do that very well. It definitely does well with character building. And like I said, it has you questioning. Like even toward the end, you're like, dude, is Spencer real? Because stuff is happening, and it's like, it makes you question. But the art, I would say the art's same thing. I would say a 6. It's not amazing. It's not super horrible or anything. I'm trying to find a good page with some nice art in it. And matter of fact, the dude who I want to say the artist is Hispanic, George Santiago. Let me see. It should say it right here in the front. Yeah, George Santiago. So I thought that was pretty neat. But here, and then I like it how it has a cartoony feel to it. Like this right here is like his serious mode, and then right there, all of a sudden, the waitress is talking, and she's looking at him like he's crazy because he's talking to his little pet animal. But like when they go to the past, they do like this type. Like some stuff I used to read when I was a kid in the cartoon section of the newspaper.
Yeah, I don't know. The Peanuts.
Yes. I was gonna say it has some type of that type of art, but every time he goes in the past when he's a kid, it'll show that type of art. So here we go again. Boom, it's right back at it. So that's dope. It kind of helps you, not just that. It also he's a little kid. I was gonna say it helps you to differentiate the past from the future, but of course the covers. They got the covers in here too, so that's dope. They got all the covers. This cover right here is one of my favorites. So they got all the covers from the first 5 issues. But so it was good. I definitely finished this in one sitting, and then I just started reading this one today. I would have been done, but I had several things come up, and
that's all good.
But I'm literally 4 pages from the end. I'll finish it later. But so he's just trying to figure out in the first one. You find this out in the first couple pages. He's trying to figure out who killed his high school sweetheart, and the ending got me, man. Like I was like, dang, I knew your mom was bad and your dad was bad, but geez, like I didn't see that coming. And so it was pretty dope how they, you get oh shoot, hold up, let me see how much juice I got left. Talking about. All right, good. I got 6% because we about to get off anyways.
Yeah. We passed that hour marker.
Huh?
Yeah, we passed that hour marker.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, it was pretty much it. So it's a detective crime noir. but pretty neat because it has its little different aspect in the sense of, this dude has got a
some
stuffed
issues.
animal as a partner.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go, Michael. He's got a lot of issues, and it's dope because he's handling it, and he's not running from it, and
Right.
it's pretty dope, man. I listened to the creators who wrote this, and they're definitely coming out with a third one because if I'm not mistaken, like they published this themselves. Like they didn't go through IDW or they didn't go through Image. They ended up pushing it themselves, and it blew up. And I can see why. It's got its unique little taste to it. It's definitely different, and I really enjoyed it. So that's pretty much all I have to say. And I'm looking forward to doing this, and I've been having a great time doing it. It's been helping me, hurry up and get through some of these comics and actually enjoy it. Because I got a lot, man, and yeah, just getting different little stories and like I said, having a good time getting together with Michael, and going live and doing what we love. Talk about some good
comics and everything. Yes. Well, we're gonna wrap this up because my man's battery's dying. I want to thank everybody coming in, tuning in. Like I said, this is a good casual because we were just talking about. I talked about my top Godzilla list. Hopefully, y'all have remembered it. I talked about Godzilla Legends, Godzilla Half Century Wars, Godzilla 2012 versions, and then the Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters and Godzilla Oblivion. So just give a look out, kind of see what y'all want to be into. Again, this is a good shout out. We're just keeping it going and flowing. I do want to give a quick Easter egg, little hint. We might start doing 2 episodes. So we might do like a quick 30-minute video on the weekday, and then we'll still do our hour long whatever this video on the weekend. So just keep a look at that. You can follow me on Instagram at Big Book Bros. You can follow him at the Greco Bully Camp. Obviously, you've seen him on YouTube. Just keep a lookout. I'm gonna try to post on what we do on social media, and just keep it going. So I hope y'all have a good one. All right.
Yes, sir. Later, bro.
Yeah.